Right.
Good evening. I'd like to call the Gurnee Village Board regular meeting of July 1st, 2019 to order. Roll call, please, Donna.
Bombas.
Present.
Hood.
Here.
Thorstenson.
Here.
Ross.
Here.
Garner. Here. O'Brien. 5 present, 1 absent.
Thank you, and Trustee O'Brien is still out of the country. Be joining us shortly in a few weeks, or next week. I think he's back, next meeting. So please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, first up on the agenda is the approval of the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Motion from Trustee
Second.
Balmas, second from Trustee Thorstenson. Roll call, please, Donna.
Bombas.
Aye.
Hood.
Yes.
Thorstenson.
Yes.
Ross.
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
5 ayes, 1 nay. Excuse me, 1 absent.
Repeat that, please. Oh, okay. All right, you're just doing a little different. All right, motion carries. Patrick, please read the consent agenda into the record.
Item number 1, approval of the minutes from the June 17, 2019 and June 24, 2019 Village Board meetings. Item number 2, approval of ordinance 2019-47, amending the annual budget of the Village of Gurnee, County of Lake, State of Illinois for fiscal year beginning May 1, 2018 and ending April 30, 2019. Item number 3, approval of granting a Class 9 liquor license and waiving the fee for the Gurnee Exchange Club for their Gurnee Days events on August 9th and 10th, 2019. Item number 4, approval of Public Works Department request to set bid date of July 30th, 2019 for Northwestern Water Tower Backup Generator Project. Item number 5, approval of payroll for period ending June 21st, 2019 in the amount of $887,333.69. Item number 6, approval of bills for period ending July 1st, 2019 in the amount of $443,767.81.
Thank you, Patrick. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as read into the record? Motion by Trustee Balmas, second by Trustee Ross. Roll call, please.
Bombas.
Aye.
Hood.
Yes.
Thorstenson.
Yes.
Ross.
Aye.
Garner. 5 ayes, 1 absent.
Motion carries. All right, any petitions and communications
No.
tonight? No reports?
Correct.
Any old business?
Nope.
All right, we'll move on to new business. First item is approval of ordinance 2019-48, granting a variation pursuant to the Gurnee zoning ordinance to allow the reduction of the corner side setback from 25 feet to 10 feet for property located at the southeast corner of Kenwood Avenue and Greenleaf Street, which is unimproved.
Sure. So you had a memo from Claire Gable, our associate planner on this. Kimbar Inc., which is Mr. Larry Mays, requested a variance to allow the reduction in the corner side yard setback from 25 feet to 10 feet for this property, which is at the southeast corner of Kenwood and Greenleaf. It is a corner lot, so the setback is typically 25 feet. As stated, he's requesting that to go down to 10. The section along his property is unimproved. So to the south, you have Greenleaf dead ends. Turns into a pedestrian trail that leads up into the Swanson Trig area. Their current administration has no plans to extend Greenleaf to the north. So if the variance were granted and the street was extended, the building could potentially be 10 feet from the right-of-way. Also, the variance if granted would allow for the structure on the property to be 60 feet wide versus 45 feet wide if the variance was not granted. So Mr. May was before the Planning and Zoning Board, provided his application packet of information. They reviewed it. We did have 2 residents express concerns over the variance, as homes in the area were successfully built with the same corner side yard restrictions. But following the discussion, the PZB is forwarding a 3-2 favorable recommendation.
All right, and a petitioner is here tonight. Mr. May, welcome. Questions from the board? All All right, well, I think staff did an excellent job with the black and white of the situation, but I also found that with infill and as things have changed over the last 94 years on this property, that sometimes we need a little more flexibility in attracting new construction and young families. So I, concur with staff that it's a corner lot and there are setbacks, but I think I pretty much could guarantee that no board now or in the future is ever going to put that road through. It would be too disruptive to the character of the neighborhood. But I would like to see some new, at least one new construction in District 56 for a young family to move in. I compliment staff on the job they did, but also think it's worthy of consideration since it's infill in a little different situation.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All right, I have a motion from trustee Balmas, a second from trustee Thorstensen. Roll call, please, Donna.
Balmas. Balmas.
Aye.
Hood.
Abstain.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Ross.
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
4 ayes, 1 abstain, 1 absent.
All right, motion carries. Congratulations.
Oh, really? She represented.
All right, move on to item number 2, which is approval of ordinance 2019-49, amending the Village of Gurnee Personnel Policy Manual. I think Christine's going to walk us through it.
Yeah, we do this on an annual update, so the policy manual stays up to date with changes that have taken place in the world of HR. So we have Christine come and hit the highlights of it, so she's going to do that for us here quick.
Okay, thank you. So this year, as in prior years, we are mostly making updates due to legislative changes, primarily here within the state of Illinois. It's been a very active year and an active year since January. So we've had some major changes. Most of it has been spelled out in my memo, but obviously with the month of May here coming to pass, we now have some new marijuana laws on the books. So that will be something that we're attempting to incorporate into our policies to address that proactively. And then we've also had some other changes in military leave, some other pay acts along the way, plus some internal changes that we have made just as a community with our PSEBA and other items like that. And also our no smoking policy. So when the Clean Air Act went into effect, roughly 8-10 years ago, vaping or e-cigarettes were not even on the market yet, so the policy didn't read to include that sort. There was an act, a Senate bill, that did not make it through this first half of the session. I anticipate that'll probably bring it back in the second half of the session, but it would update the act to include e-cigarettes and the like. So we're just kind of being a little bit more proactive to include that in our policy and kind of set that going forward. So I'm here to answer any other questions that you may have.
Questions from the trustees? A lot of policy changes.
Yeah, as Christine said, pretty typical routine updates due to changes in legislation, and obviously she works with our labor attorney to make sure we're compliant and everything's copacetic, so.
Good job pulling it all together, and nice job on the policy showing us what changed and didn't change with the black line. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Any other questions from the trustees?
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, trustee Balmas. Motion by trustee Balmas, second by trustee Thorstensen. Roll call, please.
Balmas.
Aye.
Hood.
Yes.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Ross.
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
5 ayes, 1 absent.
All right, motion carries. Just as a reminder to the trustees, we are scheduling at the next committee of the whole, kind of a discussion on the whole new legalization of marijuana and some of the impacts to the village and the choices that we have. We need to give direction to staff so they can start preparing those ordinances. And also there's been some requests about changes to our alcohol licensing, so we're going to do all of that in one committee of the whole meeting coming up. All right. Item number 3, Approval of Public Works Department recommendation to purchase one Chevrolet 1500 4x4 chassis, one Chevrolet 2500 4x4 chassis, and one Dodge 3500 4x4 chassis from Ray Chevrolet Dodge at a total cost of $118,332. This is Public Works Units 650, 679, and 791.
Sure. So these are 3 pickup trucks that we talked about earlier in the year when we went through the budgeting process within the Public Works Department. 650 is a 2007 Ford F-150, 62,000 miles, but it does have some corrosion issues, and we've spent about $20,000 on it in the last 10 years, and it's just continuing to nickel and dime us. 679 is a 2004 Ford F-250, 91,000 miles, again, $21,000 in the last 10 years on it. And then 791 is another Ford F-250, 4x4, 87,000 miles, about $17,000 spent on that. So these were all included in the budget. They're vehicles for, the first 2 are for the utility division. Third one, 791, is the vehicle maintenance division that'll be used by the mechanics. So the first item here, number 3 under new business, is the chassis. Second item is the upfitting of 2 of the vehicles, which I'll just talk about now. As you know, we've worked with Bonnell to standardize all of our upfittings with our plows and pickup trucks at Public Works. I've had a really good working relationship. 679 and 791 will be outfitted with utility service bodies, back racks, lift gates, and then one of them with a hydraulic and diesel refueling tank. That would be for the vehicle maintenance truck, the 791. So first one is the trucks, second one is the upfitting. As it relates to the trucks, we do belong to a government purchasing cooperative. We got pricing from there and then reached out to Ray Chevy Dodge, who we've purchased vehicles from in the past, to see if they could beat the co-op pricing, and they were able to. So we're recommending to move forward with them.
Questions from the trustees?
I have a question.
Trustee Garner?
I'm looking at the first one we talked about, which one? Unit 650. It has 62,000 miles, and we spent $19,000 on this vehicle in repairs. It's a 2009 vehicle. It was really purchased, I believe, in 2009. Isn't that relatively low mileage on a vehicle to have that much in repairs?
Yeah, it is. But that truck is a Ford truck. And it's had nothing but rust problems with frames. Most of the work we put in there has been on the engine. We've had a problem with the engine, and it's been out to Ford at least 3 times in the last year.
Okay.
We actually skipped this truck a couple times to hold on to it. It was going to be a roll-down truck to engineering, but we held on to it, so we're just want to get rid of it because it's nickel and dime us.
So is it an issue with Ford trucks in general, or is this a limit?
That model year, the 2007, that model year, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a sister truck to 3 other trucks we had. This is the last one left
Yeah,
that we
it
held on.
just kind of strikes me as odd that, 62,000 miles and $19,000 in repairs. It kind of sticks out like a sore thumb.
Right.
So, all right, thanks.
Other questions? Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Ross,
Second.
second by trustee Balmas. Roll call, please, Donna.
Balmas,
Aye.
Hood,
Yes.
Thorstensen,
Yes.
Ross,
Aye.
Garner,
Aye.
5 ayes, 1 absent.
All right, and then the follow-up is the equipment for those trucks, which is approval of Public Works Department request to waive bidding requirements and purchase utility service body, back rack, lift gates, and hydraulic diesel refueling tank from Bonnell Industries at a cost not to exceed $57,472. This would be for Public Works Units 679 and 791. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Balmas, second by trustee Ross. Roll call, please, Donna.
Balmas,
Aye.
Hood,
Yes.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Ross.
Aye.
Garner.
Aye.
5 ayes, 1 absent.
All right, motion carries. And while we're on the topic of Public Works, I was going to post this on my mayor Facebook page, but I drove around town this week and I had 1,000 errands to catch up on. The Parkway trees are stunning, beautiful. Washington Street landscaping, beautiful. The landscaping around our shopping centers, Tracy, beautiful. I mean, it was just really a joy to drive around town. and see everything in bloom and the flowers and everything. So I was really proud. So thank you to everyone I know who puts in a lot of work on all of that. So I'll open the floor to public comment. Please state your name.
Sure. Hi, my name is Diane Sorofka. I'm a 31-year resident of Gurnee, and I'm here representing the Stop ETO in Lake County group. Surprised. I'm sorry that the shirts are faded. We've been out a lot lately. I may have to get another one. I'm here, and I recognize that this is the 4th of July week, and the Constitution grants us life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And the first one is life. And although our groups have been mentioning figures and stuff, I think that that's something that we should focus on, because I think our founding fathers, had there been mothers, would have talked about cancer-causing ETO, had that been in vogue, had that been around at the time of the Constitution. So they just called it life. To the point, we're seriously concerned about the high levels, clear and present danger in the latest figures released on ETO levels within the county. We've heard and presented equations about 10 MCQ, compared to I can't wrap my head around that. I'm a common person. I don't have a science background. I don't know if anybody on the board or in this room has a science background. So I had 2 scientists break it down for me real simple. The EPA standard is less than half a penny. One of the canisters has registered $10. Simple? Half a penny compared to $10. I can wrap my head on that. The ETO that we're registering is the equivalent of 1 pack of cigarettes a day. People don't smoke cigarettes for a very good reason, but you can relate to the damage to your lungs of 1 pack of cigarettes. The danger is not to our lungs, it's to our blood system and carrying it forward. Those are the facts. You've heard many pieces of information. We've brought in a specialist. His name is Peter Orris. He will be our guest speaker on Saturday, July 17th at the police department in Gurnee. He comes with a varied background, most specifically 15 years of research in ETO. He's here at the Roslyn University. He is a lifetime, he's been awarded the Lifetime Achievement Award by the World Federation of Public Health, and he will be presenting to us. His name is Peter Orris, if you'd like to Google his name, and we invite the board, the community, and all of Lake County. Oh, and one other thing. The results for any of the canisters that we get at Medline, Advantage, wherever, EPA appeared to the Willowbrook Group, and they said that it is a 6-mile radius from each facility. So if you draw a 6-mile radius around the plant, either one of them, we are in contact, 6 miles out from either plant. So with that, I leave you. Thank you.
Ma'am, before you leave the microphone, could you just spell your last name?
Sure.
We have an assistant deputy clerk
It's
here
okay.
tonight.
Sure. S like in Sam, U-R-U, F like in friend, K-A.
Okay, thank you.
Sure,
We'll
on
get the minutes-
Sunrise.
No, we'll get the minutes correct. All right, any other public comment?
Yes, hello, my name is Ralph Peterson, and excuse me, I'm not prepared. I've kind of been running all day, but I figured since I was on my way home, I would just stop by anyway. But next meeting, I will be prepared. Mayor, I was pretty disturbed at a Facebook remark that you made a couple weeks ago on Facebook. This was in reference to a Roger Whitmore. He had a certain percentage of his business taken away from him by the now sitting African-American sheriff that's in Lake County. And what happened was the sheriff gave a portion to a white company in Antioch, first-time white company in Antioch, and first-time African-American company in Waukegan. Well, Whitmore jumped on Facebook, and he pretty much was belittling the African-American company, never mentioning the Antioch company, saying how the service was going to go down and people, as if their cars were going to be stolen. We had many borderline, I would say borderline racist, and there were a lot of remarks. But here's what really get me. This is the out of the 12 to 15 companies for decades, there's never been an African-American company. This was the very first time. And I couldn't believe your words. You chimed in and gave all those borderline, I'm going to use the word racist remarks, validity, and verbatim. You said, Roger, give me a call. I have influence. I'll see what I could do about this. As if there was some kind of wrong being done. You don't feel that the sheriff, I thought that's how it worked. When a new sheriff comes in, he gets to pick and choose his cabinet, his workers, or whatever it is. But it shocked me because I've seen you at a lot of African-American events and how you could be so insensitive and validify all those statements as if something was did wrong and you have influence. You'll see what you could do about it. So I will be back next council meeting and I will have facts because I was quite disturbed. Now, this did stick in my mind. I was kind of disturbed. You haven't, maybe this is why you spoke in such a way. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was 13 years of no cultural training, and I think that was done via television, computer, or something, and then I've got all the other facts of, well, I'll just be back at the next council meeting, but I was very disturbed that you validified over 300 statements on Facebook about a first-time African-American company being hired by the Lake County Sheriff Department. Thank you all for listening.
All right, anybody else for public comment? All right, we are going to go into executive session. Brian, if you would state the reason, please.
Basically, this is under exemption number 2 to discuss a collective bargaining matter.
All right, do I have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Balmas, second by trustee Garner. Roll call, please, Donna.
Balmas? Balmas? Trustee Balmas?
Aye.
Hood?
Yes.
Thorstenson?
Yes.
Ross?
Aye.
Garner?
Aye.
5 ayes, 1 absent.
All right, we'll be in executive session. We're going to come back out and do more business.
Present, 1 absent.
All right, we have one last order of business.
Make a motion to approve.
All right, let me
Do
read.
you want to read it?
Yeah, let me read it. Approval of ordinance 2019-50, approving the collective bargaining agreement between the Illinois Fraternal Order of Police Labor Council and the Village of Gurnee for the term beginning May 1st, 2019 through April 30th, 2023. I have a motion from trustee Balmas.
Second.
Second from trustee Thorstenson. Roll call, please. Donna?
Balmas?
Aye.
Hood?
Yes.
Thorstenson?
Yes.
Ross?
Aye.
Garner?
Aye.
5 ayes, 1 absent.
All right, motion carries. That was the end of our business. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Motion by trustee
Second.
Balmas, second by trustee Garner. All in favor, say aye.
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 All right.